Welcome back everybody to Khaldor TV with another series here in the End of the Storm losers bracket. This is actually like the third time, I think the second time that I'm talking to you, because guess what, I already recorded all of this before, and well, half an hour in I suddenly realized, wait a second, something's wrong. And yeah, I had the output device still set to another microphone because I was using it for another series and forgot to switch it back, so I was talking into that microphone in my headset here the entire time, and then after half an hour I was just like, wait a second, this doesn't really seem right. And so I had to do it again, and it's a pleasure. So guys, welcome again. We have Roccat versus Liquid during the End of the Storm. We are currently in the loser bracket, and of course one of these teams will drop out. The other team will be able to advance to the next round of the tournament, where they are going to face Bob, and that's going to be pretty cool. In this case, of course, we have 4 teams left, so it's Roccat, TeamLiquid, Alternate Fancy, and also Bob. So the 4 teams will try to claim victory here in the tournament, and only one of these 2 teams that we're having today will be able to advance and have another shot here. The series is a best of 3. We're starting off with a match on Cursed Hollow. TeamLiquid and Roccat have played amazing games already thus far, and we're having our first game on Dragonshire. And in this case, TeamLiquid actually drafted a composition around none other than Kerrigan. Kerrigan, of course, a great hero. She has 2 supporters here in form of like tanks that can go into deep with her, and we have in this case Muradin plus Arthurs. So pretty solid front line here. A melee assassin composition for TeamLiquid. They're running this with the Khaldor, and the cool thing for Kerrigan is that she also has now an Uther that can help her out with a Divine Shield, whereas on the other side of the draft we're having a Zagara together with Raynor, and in this case, of course, Raynor is going to be extremely important since he will have a huge amount of auto attack damage. They need to protect him though, because Kerrigan, she hates him and she is going to try and take him out. Game number 1 coming up right now on Cursed Hollow between TeamLiquid and Team Roccat. Game number 1 in the best of 3 series at the Enter the Storm. We are in the loser bracket, and it is TeamLiquid versus Roccat. Just a few minutes ago, TeamLiquid took down Na'Vi. It was a great game that we saw between the 2 teams. A great series indeed, and the last map of course was amazing, but right now the Spanish team is going up against Roccat. And Roccat earlier on today already taking down Virtus.pro. We have now to the left side Muradin, played by Vortex for the Spanish team, Lucifron on Arthurs. The brothers here are playing the front line. Black Scob on Kerrigan, Garampakete on Uther, and Falcon on Khaldor. To the right side of the map, Hazorps for Roccat for the German team on Zagara. We have Sport Billy on Anubarak, Chris on Raynor, Shadowmar playing Malfurion, and Zocker playing Johanna. Regarding the builds here, it is roughly what you would expect as the level 1 talents, but let's go over that real quick. For most of the tanks, we're currently having a focus on Regeneration Master, as you can see, especially with Arthurs and also Anubarak running the talent right now. The exception in this case is Muradin, who needed to go for his Reverberation build. He also doesn't have a Regeneration Master on level 1, which is one of the main reasons why we don't see it. And Johanna, of course, wants to take Nightake Pawn. She could potentially take a Regeneration Master, but it's not really a talent that you necessarily need on her, and going for that extra damage against the minions is just absolutely amazing. It's the best talent hands down on the hero here on level 1, so that's exactly what she is currently using there. So with Condemn being a priority, we could see Soccer also with that retaliation build that has been very popular throughout the weekend, trying to get as many of these Condemns out as possible. Especially Na'Vi has been playing it every single time they use the hero. Kerrigan is currently going into the Siphoning Impact on level 1, and that is a bit of extra sustain that she's going to have during these fights. Down to the mid lane, we have Vortex already jumping in together with Kerrigan against Zocker. Does he have Iron Skin still up? No, it doesn't look like it. He's actually taking a lot of damage here, but both of those shrines are currently in the possession of Roccat. And Roccat has played an amazing game here earlier on today already. It's one of their favorite maps apparently these days. They played a great match. And Anubarak is getting killed up at the top lane though, and Kerrigan plus Muradin apparently able to make that happen, and that's the first kill in the game in favor of TeamLiquid. Down to the bot lane, a bit of pressure play against Garampakete, but important is of course Black Scorp's approach here to the top lane, where Hazorps is desperately trying to put some creep tumors down so that he is a bit safer. So far it didn't really work out for him. Every single time he tries, there's somebody moving over and destroying them, so I guess Zagara is a little bit salty right now. All the beautiful creep tumors eliminated, and another kill for TeamLiquid. Great combo here by Blackscorp, even angling the skills just a tiny bit, that Primal Grasp in particular, to make sure that he gets the shot. And he gets another one against Sport Billy. Oh, wow! There's the blow up. For a second I really thought he would survive, thanks to the shield that he got. But nope. That is the kill, and yeah, well, they are in a position right now where all of a sudden they have not only 3 kills, but they also denied a bit of experience in the top lane to their opponent. That shrine is in their hands, and in the mid lane, we see now Lucifron together with Vortex, the Moreno brothers, pushing Soccer back. They nearly have a level lead already, and this early in the game, this is a pretty huge accomplishment that they have right now. As you can tell at this point, it's also, of course, a few more talents that could be expected here. Interestingly enough, not the retaliation build. I mean, you don't need to go for it, but still, I expected him to at least go for the Laws of Hope. Instead, it's amplified healing, so relying a lot on Malfurion, who actually might, given that talent, go into a build that at least gives him enduring growth on level 7. A full heal build for Malfurion is what you would really like to take, but oftentimes Malfurion players are forced to take Cleanse on level 7 and then also potentially later on level 13 Ice Block, and I feel like this is actually one of these games. If you're going up against the Carrigan and all that lockdown that TeamLiquid has, then Cleanse is a very important talent to have, and Ice Block is going to keep you alive then later on as well. Blackscorp, well, for a second I wanted to say he can take the Dragon Knight, but to the bot lane we have now a 3 versus 2. But Blackscorp is moving in to make it an even fight, and he's attempting to take Chris, but the German range assassin player did a very good job here, dodging the combo and making sure that they are not losing another hero here. At the top lane, another shrine being taken now by Hazorps and Sport Billy. So both of the players are now trying to make sure that at least TeamLiquid is not going to be too dominating in this part of the game. There's battle momentum after the clean kill that has been taken right now. So Blackscorp with a pretty traditional build for Carrigan, at least the build that has been very popular since the last patch. I still believe that he will take those shield talents on 13 and 16. The sustain that you get from them is amazing, and it's extremely important if you're going up against the opponent's composition that can lock down your healer with Cocoon taken. So that's definitely one of the things. Cleanse, by the way, for both of the healers here, talking about it. Conviction now on level 7 for Johanna. And another battle right here where Blackscorp finds himself in a lot of trouble, and Chris moves in for the kill steal. Gets the last shot in and secures that kill. So we have Vortex also about to drop. He does not have the cooldown ready, and that is Roccat coming back into this game with a nice double kill, securing themselves quite some experience. Really well done here. And up to the top lane, another approach to take down Arthas. Lucifron already on the run, the prince in trouble, and he is dead. The princes will be pretty salty about this one. Who's actually the princess there in this case? Well, I suppose it's Carrigan. Arthas and Carrigan in this case, so yeah, that kind of works out. I mean, Jimmy is playing on the other team, and I suppose in this case, Carrigan is really just trying to take him down. Doesn't make too much sense, but he doesn't have to win the Nexus, and all those things don't make sense here. Machine guns against Muradin with a battle axe, and Muradin oftentimes wins that fight. Like, what? Either way, Falcon up to the top lane with, oh, even Soccer moving in. Yeah, well, he went down. And that is 4 kills in a row that Roccat was able to secure now. And Roccat is really starting to gain a bit of momentum here, and I really like the way they are playing this. At the beginning, Blackscorp kind of took them apart with the combos on Carrigan, but right now it's exactly the other way around. It's the rotations on the map from Roccat that gave TeamLiquid a lot of trouble. We have Sport Billy and Shadowmar now at the bot lane controlling another shrine. Theoretically, this could be the first Dragon Knight in the game. They have level 10 already. No! That is no Cocoon. It's a Locust Swarm. Okay. So apparently they don't really care about the Divine Shield on Uther that will allow Carrigan to go ham in that backline. Alright, if you are really worried about the sustain, then why not? But it's going to be an interesting battle then later on. That is a very easy way to keep Carrigan alive now, and I'm not quite sure if Roccat is not going to pay the price for this one. But they have Locust Swarm, they have at the same time now the Hyperion. We are seeing the Endless Creep, by the way, not really coming into use from Hazorps. The same problem for him still. All of his creep tumors get taken down immediately. We already have also now Tranquility taken, Maelstrom, Arthas running with the Army of the Dead, Avatar for Muradin. All the talents that you would expect, maybe with the exception of Cocoon not taken, but Web Blast instead. We're also seeing the Phoenix here on the side of Kel'Thas, who's currently just still looking up at the top lane. And Sport Billy plus his boys looking for a potential kill against Grand Paquette, who's still riding his Goblin. ugliest mount in the entire game, by the way. And down here, Mist Storm, Bolt by Vortex. Again, Johanna moving in, Hyperion with the damage. And Arthur's rushing in. Army of the Dead will be used in a second. Here comes Kerrigan trying to get that stun combo off. But Black Scarab has to move away right now. And the Divine Shield saving Arthur's for now. Oh, Vortex jumps away in the last second here. And they're trying to lock down Chris, but that didn't really help them. At the top lane, we have Falcon going up against Hazops, and as you can see in the mid lane, there's nobody to really stop Soccer. If they don't claim one of those shrines right now, then they will lose the Dragonite, unless Vortex... Oh my god. Really? That still hit? Unbelievable. I thought Soccer would for sure take that Dragonite. Kerrigan, on the other hand, down to the bot lane, has been taken out. Kill number 5. And to the top lane, we have Hazops. Well, he was still holding that particular lane, but still no attempt. Well, Dragonite, not in time. Kel'Thas has been ready to the top lane. Hazops is still looking at potentially dropping maybe a few roaches, maybe a hunter killer, but the rotation of Roccat is already there to drop Falcon. Nice gravity lapse, keeps him alive for now. And to the bot lane, it's still Sport Billy getting a few more hits in against the entire structures here. The wall is already gone and the Dragonite this time is secured. Soccer in the mid lane is punting Muradin away, and we are seeing TeamLiquid again in a very defensive position there, especially since level 13. He's going to be ready any second right now, and that will give Roccat an additional talent over TeamLiquid. So TeamLiquid here is in a bit of trouble. They have currently Kel'Thas rotating into the mid lane as well for the defense. Level 13 talents with the Ice Block as expected on Malfurion. And can't not go Ice Block with the Kerrigan on the opponent's team. We would love to go for the Life Seed here, but that really opens you up to all kinds of like gank attacks. So now we have a double... Well, look at all the damage that they are running here. They have a double Burning Rage now and also Giant Killer for Reyna. With all that auto attack damage that was expected from Chris. But they are moving in to drop now the fort. They already went through the wall and the fort is about to fall here. 20 seconds on the Dragonite. Level 13 talents finally. With still the shield talent taken for Black Scarab on 13 and Chain Bombs as well. Sport Billy is in a bit of trouble. Chain Bombs everywhere right now. Dishing out damage. And Hazops... Yeah, he gets healed by Tranquility in the last second. Zagara was really not looking too fresh here. Muradin, by the way, was able to escape, and now his trade is kicking in to keep him alive a bit longer. But Vortex has to be super careful here, and so do the rest of the heroes. Black Scarab is just barely... Nope, he's not. Barely kept alive, but then the Condemn pulls him back in. Uther died already, was trying to heal him, but was a bit too late. And this is a level lead for Team Roccat, who secure themselves 7 kills against 3. They steal the mercenary camps away, and with the map control that they just established, they can now go from one camp to another and just take all of those. Can move to the ones to the right side, and that's exactly where we're currently finding Soccer with another Condemn up to the top lane. Hazops is just saying, oh, experience, let me grab that real quick. So he moves in, pushes these waves down, and that of course puts them on level 15. Vortex and the rest of TeamLiquid are just defending against all of the camps that are now walking their way. Pretty annoying situation for them at this point, actually. They have the level 13 talents, but it's all about level 16 right now. And also we are seeing Hazops, now very late in the game, but better late than ever, establishing creep everywhere on the map. At the beginning of the game, TeamLiquid did an absolutely amazing job to take those creep tumors out and make sure that Hazops doesn't really get a good hold on the map, that he doesn't feel safe at the top lane because he sees what's coming. But right now, it's completely different. I mean, we are seeing them in a situation where creep is spread on the entire map. A 4 versus 4 actually at the bot lane, where 2 players are still starting to move down. Divine Shield already used on Arthas, and they get Sport Billy. Nice kill against the Nubarak. We have that Anubarak drop. Can they kill more than that? Shadowmar is very low, and he gets taken down by the Chain Bomb. A great Maw, by the way. Kerrigan is now dead. It's a 1-4-3, but both of these heroes are getting blown to pieces as well. Level 16 talents now ready for Roccat. It looked so good for TeamLiquid, like they would be able to make a comeback in the game, but that didn't happen. Instead, it was just another double kill thanks to that great Maw that we saw from Hazops. And he has now also the Brute expansion for the double Hunter Killer. We're seeing the Bullseye for the 1.2 stun, which is for 1.5 second stun, which is actually amazing. There's also now the Imposing Presence ready, and I suppose that Malfurion, well, Tenacious Root and Hardened Focus are both great talents for him to take. He goes for Tenacious Roots here. Both of them are, by the way, dancing around that temple or that shrine. But we have still that level advantage, or the talent advantage on the side of Roccat, and that could give us another Dragonite for them. Well, top lane, that's where Kerrigan is currently headed. In the mid lane, they're a bit too late. If Soccer would have moved into the mid lane faster, they would have actually gotten it. They had enough time to take the Dragonite, yeah, but somebody needed to be in place at the time that the bot shrine was taken. That was not the case, so therefore they don't get the Dragonite just yet, but they might get Kerrigan. Chris moves in, and Kerrigan can kiss her life goodbye, I wanted to say, as Grand Paquette moves in with the Divine Shield. A very, very close call. One more hit by Chris, and that would have been it. And talking about Chris, we have for Reyna right now 28 extra damage points already. 28 extra damage. We're 12-13 minutes into the game. Both of the shrines in the control of Roccat, and they are looking to take Dragonite again. They try to fight that fight, but of course we have now the level 16 talents also taken for Team Liquid, with a second shield talent for Kerrigan. Kerrigan is attacked, and Kerrigan is about to fall. It was close, but she dies. Reyna is dead now too, though. A great Maw, and this time they might actually be able to turn it around. But Uther is also dying now. We have even Arcane Barrier on Kelthas, not really helping him too much here. He had to move away already. And still Arthur's running away. That stone skin was not enough to keep him alive. 7 kills against 13 overall. Another Dragonite here now on the side of Soccer. And even with those passive talents, or those sustain talents that came into play on level 16 for Team Liquid, they were not able to win that fight. The Morsov Hazobs, by the way, are spot on this game. Really great moves by him, sectioning off always 2 or even 3 heroes and make sure that Roccat is going to get their kills in. So right now, Roccat finds themselves in a situation where they can push 2 lanes, and that's exactly what they do. They move to the bot lane with 3 heroes plus a Siege Giant camp to take the wall, and the Dragonite in the meantime is just barreling down the mid lane and trying to secure themselves not only a few structures taken down, but maybe even a keep. They need to try and take one now. They still have 40 seconds on the Dragonite, and Reyna is moving in. It's going to be a 5 versus 5 fight on even talents, but the Dragonite alone is already going to be really important here. Reyna is moving into the mid lane. He got killed in the last fight, but as long as Chris is still getting a few more points on a seasoned marksman, it's going to be fine for them. Apparently he's trying to go for the fort instead, and that's where the Dragonite is already headed to meet up with him. So another Breath of Fire can help out here too, and yeah, I mean, the damage from Chris is absolutely insane right now. And it's going to get crazy at level 20 when he goes for Nexus Frenzy. I mean, we've seen that already in a few of the earlier games. Nice attempt here to drop Sport Billy, but not enough lockdown just yet. Again, a good route from Malfurion. It's one of his biggest assets in these fights, especially of course in those jungle areas where you can just simply use one of his tenacious routes to lock opponents out and make sure that they can move away here. We have level 17 versus level 19 now in the game. And talking about damage just a bit, I mean, you can really tell that with 42,000 damage, we have especially Reyna in a great position. Zagara is at 31,000, which is still pretty solid, but nothing compared to Reyna himself, who does just an amazing work here. 84,000 damage also on the side of Johanna when it comes to siege damage. So both of those teams doing pretty well here, but obviously Roccat doing a bit better. They are currently in a very solid situation with nearly twice the amount of kills against their opponents, and also very close to level 20, which would have just helped them to go through one of the keeps. It's actually one of the things that they have to do. It's their job to use that level 20 talent to secure themselves at least the Dragonite, but most of all take down a keep. If they don't do that and Liquid hits 20 as well, then it's a big problem for them. So right now we have the teams rotating down to the bot lane again. There's still a camp that they can take. There's one Bruiser camp that is up for grabs, and it looks like we are seeing Roccat moving straight towards that. Yes, they're going to try and take it. Maybe even wait with grabbing it just a bit to see if they can time it with one of the Dragonites. Nope, they take it right away and let it push down the bot lane. And yeah, oh, they have actually a Siege Giant camp here as well, so that works even better for them. Now they have a double camp coming in, and they should have level 20 pretty soon. Now here comes the defense, but it might be a bit too late. Everybody on the side of Team Liquid already used the Hearthstone to go back to base and heal up. Here come the camps. And Uburak, lockdown once, lockdown twice, is turning around though, and here come the level 20 talents and also the Hyperion. They push in, and they are going for the keep now. Reyna, not with Nexus Frenzy, by the way, did not go for the damage, but instead for the Bolt of the Storm, which allows him to move away. Is trying to spread the love here, and he does. Chain bombs everywhere. Reyna, he's such a considerate guy. He gets a present and he tries to share it with the rest of the team. So for now we have them again ahead in talents and therefore also in experience. The bot lane shrine taken by Sport Billy. This camp, by the way, is a bit of a nuisance still to Roccat. I mean, it's not going to take down the key, but it is going to be a bit of a pain. They are looking for a Dragonite though, and 17 minutes in, they could theoretically, with the level 20 talent, if they get a Dragonite right now, even go through the bot lane and try to end the game. That might be exactly what they're going to do here. Double Bolt of the Storm, they're seeing one Storm Shield and also Indestructible taken, but nobody rotates to the top lane to take that second shrine that they need to claim the Dragonite here. They might actually start to do that in just a bit, but not just yet. Up here at the top, Vortex and Lucifron, the Moreno brothers, are just waiting for somebody to move in. Yeah, Zocke is not impressed. Zocke is not really impressed, just walks past Mirrodin and is saying like, meh. Bot lane pressure, by the way. Oh, look at that! These two bad boys are actually attacking the keep. They're not even bothering about the bot lane, they're just taking the keep. Carrigan is moving down to the bot lane in the meantime. And TeamLiquid, of course, does not want to fight. And they are able to get that wish granted, thanks to Black Scout just stealing the shrine away. And now somebody has to take care of these two siege giants, because the bot lane is really getting pressured hard. In comes Sport Billy. Mirrodin's on the way up to the top to get the shrine and then be back. So his team needs to buy some time for him to accomplish that. They take down the siege giants too, but the keep is already on half hit points. Keep those level 20s in mind though, because TeamLiquid will have the level 20 any second now. Bot lane is captured by Chris, so both of them are again able to deny Dragonites to the opponent, but this could drop level 20 into their hands, and there it is. Rewind, Double Bolt of the Storm, and now they are willing to fight, and they go in right away. Again, Hyperion, more perfect on the side of Hazobs, well played, but Carrigan with the Divine Shield is going straight for Zagara. Zagara blinking away, escaping for now. Black Scorp had to rush away now too, using his own Bolt of the Storm, and we're seeing Spot Billy on the run now too. Kelpa still in the back line, can spread the love. Where are the chain bombs? Indestructible already procced on Johanna. Zocke is in a bit of trouble, and everywhere just bombs. Everywhere bombs. But we have once again TeamLiquid moving away as they are starting to get low. All of their rogue abilities have already been used during the fight. And once more, TeamLiquid just trying to go back to the well and heal up. They do not want to risk to lose that fight right now. They know that they're already behind because they lost the first fort. But now with the temple or the shrine taken up at the top lane, it's going to put the pressure on them. Hazobs and the rest of Roccat, they are still extremely falling with HP. They have all of those HP up, and Anubarak is now starting to move in up from the top lane. Mana might become an issue at some point for them, but here they are, jumping in again. Black Scorp trying to look for a combo here, but the pressure against Arthas, he's moving away already. Black Scorp is low, Black Scorp is down, gets the stun combo, but it doesn't help. The kill against Mirrodin secures another double kill for Roccat, and Grandpa Kette is going to be the third victim. Even a kill against Keltas. Lucifron uses his stone skin, but he will die too. The Dragonite already taken, and they know what that means. This is going to be game. GG already called. Grandpa Kette is back thanks to Redemption, and they are just moving past that keep. They don't even have to go for it. Hazobs is going straight for core, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is Roccat taking game number 1 against TeamLiquid. Once again, the Spanish team is falling behind in the best of 3 series. Once again, they're only 1 map away from being eliminated from the Enter the Storm. Roccat is victorious and takes the lead in the best of 3 series. Roccat is victorious, and TeamLiquid, they find themselves down in the series once again. They have to be used to that by now, because let's face it, in the loser bracket and also in the winners bracket, we had quite a few games already where they lost the initial map and then won 2 in a row. If they can do that again though, that's a very different question, and we're going to answer part of it now on Cursed Hollow, where TeamLiquid actually drafted an Illidan composition again. They have also 2 warriors together with Illidan, so again they are banking their hopes on a melee assassin, and at this point they're running this together with the Mirrodin and also Leoric. For the damage from the backline, we have Jaina responsible right now, and of course if you run a melee assassin, most players will still try to go into an Uther with Divine Shield, and for very good reason, so Uther it is for them. Whereas on the other side of the draft, we are seeing now for Team Roccat a composition where they are attempting to do something that they already did back in the days, like 2 or 3 patches back. They played Johanna for Shield Glare against Illidan, and also a Lily. They had the chance to actually go into other healers, but they decided to play Lily here. And the choice is pretty easily explained. What you're trying to do with this setup with Johanna plus Lily is to make sure that Illidan doesn't hit his auto attacks, therefore can't trigger his trade and his passive, and then you take him down with the auto attack damage that we have, for example, on Reno, who was drafted here once again, and also we're having Arthas, who can with Frostmourne dish out quite a bit of damage against a single target, and of course lock them down with a Howling Blast. So in theory, a really good setup that we see there, and also Roccat was very, very successful with it in the past against Illidan compositions. Now they have to show it again, though. If they win here, then they are through to the next match where they are going to face Bob. But well, let's find out together if Team Liquid can maybe bounce back into the series here in Cursed Hollow. Second game, and we are on Cursed Hollow for game number 2 here at the end of the storm. We are still in the losers bracket, and we have Roccat going up against Team Liquid, and Roccat is in the lead. They took the first game of Team Liquid, and now we have a very different setup for both of the teams here. The Spaniards to the left side of the map with the Vortex on Muradin. We have Lucifron on Leoric. Black Scorp playing Illidan for the team right now, and Falcon on Jaina for the range damage with Gran Paquete again on the support hero. The cool thing about all of this is that we had a bit of a counter pick happening on the side of Roccat. They were expecting Illidan and they counter picked with Lily. To the right side of the map it's Zocco on Johanna, Hazorbs on Zagara, Chris on Reyna, Sportbilly on Arthas, and as already announced, Shadowmar on Lily. And in case that a few guys out there are wondering right now, why is Lily a counter to Illidan? It's actually quite simple. If you're running a team composition with not only Johanna, but you can add Lily as well, you can go for the Blinding Wind build, and you can make sure that Shield Glare plus Blinding Wind are always being used to just make sure that Illidan doesn't get his hits in. If he misses his attacks, then he can't apply his passive, and therefore he has no chance of actually going for cooldown reduction, life leech or anything, and as long as he can't apply all these things, he's pretty much useless in the fights. So that's one of the things that they're currently trying to aim for. And it has been played even before Karazim was added. Normally with Karazim now in, we don't oftentimes see focus on like ban or targeted bans focused on healers, and therefore Lily is not as common as she was before the patch. But she's still occasionally being played, and I've seen this particular composition played by Roccat before against Illidan comps, and it worked extremely well. It's of course not a guarantee for them that it wins here, but that's the thought process behind the pick, in case that you were wondering. And let's find out how exactly they're going to play here for now. We have on level 1 Reconstitution taken now at the top lane for Hazorbs. He waited for a long time with this actually, could have decided to go into Corpse Feeder instead, but there's already an attempt to lock a target down. If you look at the composition that we're seeing for Team Liquid, it's of course not... Oh, yeah, Spot really shouldn't go like too deep for this one. And Hazorbs, yes, there's the first stun, the second stun, and a lot of damage against Sport Billy, but he survives. The important thing here really is to notice that it's not only about Illidan when we're talking about Team Liquid. Team Liquid is actually relying heavily also on all of these lockdowns that they have. They can go with Muradin into Jaina damage plus Uther stun for snipes anywhere on the map, which is extremely important. We have currently to the right side also Season Marksman taken for Reno. So both of the teams have very, very solid compositions. And of course we don't really have a hero that can jump into the backline together with Illidan, except for Leoric, who can use Wraith Walk to just move in. Also, that means that he will give up one of his escape mechanisms that he has to just move back there. So for now we have at the top lane Hazorbs with the pressure play. We see this time Laws of Hope taken by Johanna, and with the level 4 talents, of course that Thunderclap build on Muradin is just being advanced. They're still trying to make sure that especially Reyna is not getting out as many auto attacks than later on in the game. Reyna was a big part of the composition for Roccat in the last game, and the damage that he was able to dish out against the tanks was incredible. Blinding Winds talent taken now on level 4. In this case it's the Mass Vortex to guarantee that you definitely hit Illidan. You could go for the Lingering Blind, but the problem is that you have then the chance that Illidan isn't actually being hit, and then of course you'd still lock down 2 of the targets for 3 seconds. But if you go for the Mass Vortex, you can definitely just like spam it out and make sure that you hit Illidan with it. Also now the radius on the Blizzard has been increased thanks to the level 4 talent here with Snowstorm. Both of the teams are starting to move in again towards the tribute. Bot lane we see Illidan and Raynor still fighting. Both of them don't really want to participate in the fights just yet. But over here it looks like with the Drain Hope, Lucifron might even be able to push Sport Billy back even further. It is still Hazorbs who secures the tribute for Team Roccat. And the rotations have started towards the mid lane now once again, for both of the teams to secure the EXP. Lily is already there, and we're having a lot of Conjurer's Pursuit, by the way. Conjurer's Pursuit has been taken on the side of Team Liquid twice, and once for Lily for Roccat, and it makes up for the lack of Arcane Intellect, since you will have a couple of mana problems later on your Jaina if you don't go for any of these. Well, with it later on usually your mana pool is big enough, but in the mid game that's more when it really is going to become a bit of a concern. So right now we have Focus Attack taken, Destruction as the Frostmourne talent for Arthurs, and now 2-3 minutes into the game we have Mercenary Camps taken on the map. On any map that you play, bosses spawn 3 minutes into the game, and we have the normal Mercenary Camps with Bruiser and Siege Giant Camps spawn 2 minutes in. So on level 7 it's Ghastly Reach again for Lucifron's Leoric, so Ghastly Reach the talent of choice. We're having battle momentum for Muradin. He's going to try and get a few more Thunderclaps out during these fights so that Reyna is not going to be able to get his attack speed up. We're also seeing now, well, First Aid taken, Frostbitten for Jaina, and a Cleanse on Uther. For the healer on the side of the opponent, it is Shake It Off, so not going into a Cleanse on level 7 on Lily. The reason is quite simple, she doesn't have one. She has a Cleanse on level 16 with Herbal Cleanse, which is pretty nice, but up to that point that doesn't exist, and of course they would love to have a Cleanse here with all that stun that we're seeing for the opponent's team, but there's just no way to make that happen. Nice attempt here, by the way, to get the second tribute, and they get it because TeamLiquid is busy at the bot lane taking the boss. They are moving in here. We have Revolution Overdrive now, Rapid Incubation for Zagara, and a Battle Momentum taken for Johanna, and nobody really cares about the boss at the bot lane. They can't really move into that. Instead, they're just moving up to the top and saying, hey, we know exactly what you guys do. You're not up here at the top, so you must take the boss at the bot lane, and let's just make sure that we have a boss on our own when that hits. Nearly a level lead, by the way, for TeamLiquid right now. They've done a really good job getting that advantage. They gave up 2 tributes for that, and that was, of course, the idea behind it. Sacrificing 2 tributes, soaking more experience, taking a few more camps on the map, and making sure that you can fight for the next tribute with an advantage in levels, and ideally also with an advantage in talents. And that's why they're pushing the bot lane together with the boss now to drop these structures and make sure that they get a massive amount of EXP for it, so that they hit level 10 and the heroic ability. And if that happens, then Roccat is not going to even move over to the next tribute and try to secure it, because they already know they can't win that fight. Level 10 versus level 9, and that's the heroic abilities. We see a Ring of Frost. Ring of Frost taken by Falcon. That can be quite nice if you can combo it off properly with the March of the Black King. The top lane pressure from Arzobs is not enough to drop the fort yet, but we are seeing the tribute node spawning on the map, and as already assumed, we are having TeamLiquid moving over, and Roccat just doesn't say, well, let's screw it. This one is not one of the things that we can actually do. So level 10 is going to hit now for Roccat any second too, and that's going to be again interesting. Lily should go for the heal ultimate. I guess with the heroics there are not too many surprises there. Hyperion, I'd say, should be the weapon of choice for Chris on his Reyna, and that's exactly the case. Army of the Dead, Blessed Shield. We have the Cup of 1,000 Jugs, the Jug of 1,000 Cups, other way around, and more taken now for them. But still that level lead for TeamLiquid. And they have, of course, only 1 tribute. That's the disadvantage that they have to live with right now. Chris is still stacking up Seasoned Marksman stacks, and the next tribute could potentially put the curse on TeamLiquid. Black Scob is a bit hesitant to really go for those Siege Giants down here, because he feels that there could be a rotation at any point. But now I feel like he saw already the heroes in the mid lane, and he knows that he's safe. Lucifron is already moving in with a Ghastly Reach. He hits the entire wave, and is starting to get away there, but locked down, and now he's wailing. Okay, they get away. Oh, there comes exactly that Ring of Frost, but we already have Lily with the heroic ability keeping them alive. Hyperion for the damage. Black Scott moving into the backline, but again it's the Wraith Walk moving Leoric away. The Divine Shield keeps him alive for now, and the rest of TeamLiquid is just simply on the run. This time Hazob's Maw did not hit anything, and they are starting to take down the structures here in the mid lane to secure themselves a few more experience points. But as you can already tell, it's still level 11 versus level 11. Up to the top lane right now, the tribute is spawning again, and that could be the curse against TeamLiquid, so they're going straight for it. At this point, we're seeing, oh, yep, Johanna starting to maybe zone them out a bit. I don't really think they can, to be honest with you. Right now it feels more like TeamLiquid has a bit more poke from a distance, thanks to Falcon, but Hazob's trying to use that as well. Lucifron is back to business. They're going extremely fast for Zocca and Sportbilly. The 2 tanks are incredibly low. Black Scott moves in, and it's a double kill against the tanks. Great job by TeamLiquid, securing themselves tribute number 2 and making sure that they are not getting cursed here. Black Scorp and Falcon are taking the opportunity now at the top lane to also drop further structures, and that allows them to get closer and closer to level 13, where they will hit that extra talent. Great start into the game by TeamLiquid here, really well played, and already Lucifron in position in the mid lane to even soak more EXP for them. That level 13 talent is going to become a reality. and they are still going for even more camps. And I would say that Vortex is he maybe even going into Burning Rage. If he goes for a camp like this, Burning Rage would help him a lot, but nope, it is going to be Thunder Strike for him. That Thunderclap with the 300 extra damage if he hit a single target can be a game changer. Icy Veins now taken as level 13 for Jaina. Now that's an interesting one. Improved Ice Block is the most common talent that we are seeing for her, but in this case, of course, you get actually a huge reduction on the cooldown and the mana cost if you use that. Interesting to see that happening. And wow, Arthur's just got crucified. They took him down within a second. They locked him down, and that's exactly that power of Mirrodin, Uther, and Jaina. We oftentimes see that paired with the Tyrande as well for additional stuns, but as you could see just now, you can take down a tank like Arthur's even without it. Level 13 talents were great, and now the tribute captured by Lucifron over here. The curse against Roccat. Zocker at the bot lane is trying to actually do something about it and maybe even take a structure down, but he has to retreat right now. This game is not working well for Roccat whatsoever. The idea was really to lock down Black Scorp with all of those talents that make him miss attacks, but it did not work out at all. Lily might be able to get the numbers in for healing, but besides that, there was really very little that she could bring to the table at this point. Maybe now they have an opportunity. This is one of the team fights, level 13 versus 13. Lily already going straight for the Shrink Ray. That helps against Illidan as well. Sport Billy is low, so is Leoric. He had to move away already. But in this case, they were able to escape at Grand Paquette. Oh my god, he still survives. That was such a close encounter there. I really thought that he would now die, but he did not, so they're moving away again, and nah, they can't chase them down. We have Sport Billy even on his horse here, on the mount, trying to go in, but yeah, no chance for them to really lock somebody down to take them apart. So unfortunately for Roccat, they don't get the kill. The problem is that now suddenly the whole thing is turned around and it's TeamLiquid on the hunt, and they might do a bit better with Black Scorp on Illidan. They have a great hero that can hunt down targets, which is exactly what they're trying to do. Johanna is already dead, but now they're trying to go for the rest. Thanks to Leoric, they slow them down with the skeleton swing, and boom, goodbye Lily. She was only looking for an adventure, and it is death she found. So Lily down, 0 kills by the way for Roccat, not even a single one. 0 kills, and we have 5 kills for TeamLiquid and a 2-level lead, a solid 2-level lead at that. So theoretically they can hit level 16 right now. Well, not only theoretically, they will hit level 16, but they could try to go for bosses. And the boss at the bot lane is going to be the priority target of TeamLiquid, and I really like the move of Roccat to go up to the top lane. Normally, when you're in a situation like this, you don't really want to go for boss. I mean, oftentimes, for example, you have your one hero down and you don't want to go for boss because, well, you don't want to risk that the opponent crushes you. But if you know that your opponent is on the other side of the map going for a boss as well, then you can use that time to just move up and take your own and find yourself in a good spot. It really requires map awareness though. You need to know exactly what your opponent is doing and be 100% certain that they are not going to try to attack you any second. So right now, Roccat is doing what they can. They just try to take a couple of camps, they try to play passive, they need to bridge 2 talents and then they can come back into this. We're having now also Unyielding Despair taken on level 16. We're seeing next to that Northern Exposure, Benediction and the Stone Form. And it's going to take ages for Roccat to really turn this around here. But Lucifer and his boys are already up in the mid lane, and the boss is starting to push the bot lane. Up to the top you're seeing the boss for Roccat, but it's already down to half health. Down here Sport Billy is trying to help out, but in the mid lane there we see TeamLiquid trying to drop the keep. The problem is though that with all the heroes that we're currently seeing here for their opponent, it's really tough to break through. Chris and everybody else is just pushing them back, doing a great job with this defense here. They're getting the boss now as well. There's of course a few tributes that are gonna spawn very soon now, and those are tributes that TeamLiquid can easily take. The boss at the top lane is even delivering a little bit more experience to TeamLiquid right now, dropping one of the towers and potentially getting the second one as well, since the ammunition is already all gone. So yeah, that boss is doing a fair amount of damage here. Yeah, very well done. This is all working in TeamLiquid's favor at this point. Boss is going to jump in again, stuns Mirrodin, and even deliver some damage on the keep. That worked out extremely well for Roccat, and they are starting to gain level 16. Just a few more seconds and they will have the talent. By the way, Chris currently on 25 extra damage on the Seasoned Marksman, just to give you a bit of an update. So he is in a pretty solid position here. 13 minutes in, that's alright. So we have also at this point now the Herbal Cleanse hopefully take. No, it's 2 for 1. Alright, even with all the stuns that we are seeing, no Herbal Cleanse. Instead, 2 for 1 has been taken for the additional healing power on Lily. we have Frostmourne Feats for additional attacks. You oftentimes see that talent taken against Illidan, and that's exactly who they're trying to drop with that. We have Arthur's also with the Spell Shield taken on 13. Zagara has the double Hunter Killer, but Arthur's dies way too fast here, and a Divine Shield at Illidan is going full ham. During that Divine Shield, you can also not hit him with a Blinding Wind. Hazorps is dead, and all of these fights are just won by Team Liquid with a landslide victory here. They're going in again, and this is going to be the first keep. It could be more than that. They could theoretically try and drop the core here. Only 2 heroes alive. They have 20 seconds on Arthur's. I guess they're not going to go for core here. It would still be risking too much, but they can definitely start to pressure a second keep, and that's what they're currently doing here. They have at least the opportunity to put some damage on. Maybe they won't even be able to drop it, but yeah. They don't risk too much here, though. They know that the next tribute is bringing them the curse. But we have level 16 talents now also taken by Roccat. And, well, we already talked about that a bit earlier. But Bullseye, of course, completing things with the Imposing Presence and the Brute expansion here. So, no Stone Skin for Arthur's. I find it a bit weird that he did not go for Stone Skin. I can completely understand why in this case he decided to go for the Spell Shield instead. But if you're looking at the damage and also the deaths, Arthur's is one of the priority targets here. Both of the tanks actually died 3 times. So, yeah, we're having Black Scorp currently in position over to the right side. Sport Billy, Hazorps, and the rest of the red team are starting to move in again. They're down 2 levels. They could fight for the next tribute. The next tribute is actually one of the fights, or will be one of the fights, where the game could be decided, or where Roccat could make a comeback happen. And that's just because they are on the same talent level. So that's the only opportunity that Roccat has. If they win the fight, put the curse on Team Liquid, then they have a big opportunity to come back into this game. So that's something that they could actually do. They're starting to move up here to the top already, and maybe here, oh, Ring of... Holy cow. They take down Zagara within a second. Great trap here. Falcon with a Ring of Frost and a perfect Blizzard, a triple kill, Johanna down, it is a quad kill, Black Scorp dies, that's the only kill that they're able to deliver. Chris is just barely getting away in this case, but that core cannot run. The core can't run, can't even hide, can't do anything, just stands there and gets now destroyed because there is absolutely no way in my mind that Reyna alone is going to be able to really push them back here. He doesn't even have the Hyperion anymore. The GG already called. Looks like we are going to see a third game between Team Roccat and the Heroes of the Storm team of Team Liquid. Really well played here by Team Liquid, and that strategy that Roccat was trying to use did absolutely not work out in this game. Divine shielded a little, just a bit too strong, and that Ring of Frost was also a pretty decent play, especially in that last trap. GG, and we're gonna jump into game number 3. Oh boy, that didn't work out at all. As I said before, that combo that Roccat just played here was actually very successful for them in the past against this setup, but Liquid just played it too good. They always had the momentum going for him and never really let go, and Illidan, when he jumped in, he had the Divine Shield on him whenever he needed it, and then Lily and also Johanna couldn't really do anything against him. So in this case, Roccat gets pretty much wrecked. That comp that they were trying did not work out whatsoever, and now the series is tied. We have a 1-1, and we're going to head into game number 3, which actually takes place on Battlefield of Eternity, the map choice in this case of Team Roccat, of course. And when we're looking at the setup here, it's again the Uther for Team Liquid. A lot of teams actually on the European server highly favor Uther right now as an early pick, and Team Liquid, they want to have the Divine Shield once more. They have no melee assassin in their setup though. So this time they're relying on 2 ranged assassins, and in this case it is Jaina plus Kel'Thas, so a lot of mage damage that they're bringing to the table here, whereas Roccat is relying more on Zagara, which is of course very, very good on this map here in particular, and they also have a Vala in their midst right now, which is going to help them to get that damage in. But especially AoE can be very strong when you have the fights for the 2 Immortals in the mid lane, and that is where the lineup of Team Liquid is maybe a tad better than what we're seeing for Roccat right now. The last map of a best of 3 series, so once again we're going the full distance, and well, on Battlefield of Eternity the 2 teams will decide which team drops out of the tournament and which team advances to face Bob in the winner bracket final. Actually, not quite the winner bracket final, it's the Consolation Final. So yeah, let's jump right into Khaldor and find out who's going to take it here. The last game in the best of 3 series here at the Enter the Storm loser bracket match between Roccat and TeamLiquid. TeamLiquid were able to win with an Illidan composition on the last map, and now we're seeing them on Battlefield of Eternity, the map choice of Roccat, with Vortex on Kelthas. We have Lucifer on Arterial for the Spaniards to the left side of the map, Black Scorp on Arthas, Falcon on Jaina, and Gran Paquete on Uther. To the right side of the map, it is the Germans with Hazorps on Zagara. We have Sportbilly on Muradin, Zocke on Johanna, Rega played by Shadowmar, and Chris on Vala. And this is the last chance for both of the teams in this tournament. Whoever loses here is out. And oh boy, do I not like those talents on the side of TeamLiquid. I am, as probably most of you know who watch the stream a lot, not a fan of regeneration globe talents on this map, because you spend so much time in the middle of the map that you don't get as many regeneration globes as you do on other maps, and therefore I really think that other talents are a little bit stronger. The only way how you can actually get some globes in the middle when you're fighting for the objective is if you win the objective, then you get 2, and that still doesn't make up for all the stuff that you lose out on in the lane. So, well, yeah, for now they are actually still picking a double regeneration master on the Conjurer's Pursuit there. Alright, so they believe heavily in these builds. Sometimes you still have pro gamers also as well go into a bit of a tunnel vision mode when they are picking their talents, but TeamLiquid is usually not one of them. They are normally very, very adept when it comes to changing their builds according to the map. In this case, they still believe that their talents are a bit better if they go for the regeneration talents. I'm curious to see how that's going to work out for them. For now we have Zagara taking part up at the top lane, where Hazorps is of course also very eager to put the creep tumors up everywhere so that he has a chance to use his reconstitution talent that he has on level 1. At the same time now we are also seeing that healing surge, well, not healing surge, that comes in on level 13, but the Spirit Walker's Grace taken, another healing talent with Night Takes Pawn, Reverberation and a Siphoning Arrow. So yeah, pretty curious to see how exactly this game is going to end out there. The Immortals are of course important, the first one maybe not as much as the ones later on in the game there. Theoretically Zagara is going to have great vision on the map, wouldn't be surprised to see Endless Creep taken. And the Immortals are already on the map, and therefore we have both the teams just like poking as much as they potentially can. So they're trying to use that a little bit. We have up at the top lane still Zagara of course pressuring Lucifer here and trying to just move him back. Lucifer is doing a pretty decent job with his smite to make sure that Zagara also doesn't really get a foothold on the lane itself. That's something that Hazorps is going to try and do later on. But the teams are really not focusing onto the objectives too much. It's more like a presence on the lane that they really want to get. Especially of course Zagara. You can't leave Zagara alone on lane, that just doesn't work out well for you. We have both of the teams trying to get as many of those experience points on lane as they possibly can. Down here on the other hand, it's the Immortal that is being attacked, and both of the teams are not just focusing on the opponent's Immortal, trying to take that down, and it looks like at least for now Roccat is a tiny bit faster, and they also are about to get a kill against Black Scorp. Nice kill against Arthas that puts them for a short period of time into a 5 versus 4, and that might be exactly enough time for them to drop the Immortal right over here. 3 heroes already focusing in, Hazorps is jumping in now too, and that is going to be an Immortal for Team Roccat, no questions asked. Both of the teams are on level 4 in the meantime. We're seeing Laws of Hope taken, the Feral Heart, also Snowstorm for, again, Jaina of course. Have a nice combo here between the Regeneration Master talent and the Amplified Healing on Tyrael at least. Also the Nether Winds for Kelthas. But besides that, still of course a bit of a problem to get enough globes in these fights. The first Immortal, that was actually like a very short process that we saw there. But the Immortal is starting to push the bot lane pretty hard, and there's Zocke also to help out a bit. 1 or 2 of these towers are going to fall in the top lane. That's the one where Zagara is pushing with the rest of the team. It's actually like a quad lane that they have established here, and Zagara is just making sure that they're going to drop at least another tower. They're already on level 6, and you can really tell that Black Scorp and Lucifer on the 2 tanks having a fair amount of trouble holding them at bay here. They get some experience at the bot lane with the Immortal though, but up here to the top, the second tower has now fallen, and the pushing presence that we are seeing from Roccat is absolutely amazing. They're doing really well with this one. To the bot lane, Vortex, Falcon and Gran Paquete are now about to take the first Khaldor camp, so going for the siege camp here. And to the top lane, it's pretty much the opposite. That's where Roccat is currently trying to make their stand and doing the exact same thing. So yeah, job well done thus far. Having also Black Scorp, well, again in a bit of trouble. That arrow build that we're seeing here for Chris is pretty awesome if you're fighting in the middle of the map, because there's just no creeps or no walls. There's nothing that that arrow can hit except for the Immortal and your opponent. So you already know that all the damage that you dish out is going to end up exactly where it belongs. An earlier level 7 talent will make it a bit easier for Roccat here to take position once more. A rapid incubation taken for Zagara. No endless creep. Conviction for Circus Johanna. Yeah, he's going to try and move in a bit faster with this one. Repeating arrow. So pretty much a talent that you would expect there. Fission bomb for Khaldor. We have for Lucifer a few more smites available, and in general also Druid smite. Thanks of course to the battle momentum. Having that shield on a shoulder cooldown doesn't hurt either. And Rune Tap plus Frostbitten and Cleanse. Both of the healers, by the way, went for Cleanse. Rhaegar and also Lisa. So for now, still that slight experience lead that we see for Roccat. It's not really a lead that gives you a massive advantage or anything. If you hit a level a bit faster, that grants you a talent. That's of course amazing, but so far the next Immortal is already announced, and that means that both of the teams are just going to try and take their camp in time. We see the camp to the right side already claimed. The one up to the left is also taken now any second by Roccat, by TeamLiquid, but it's not really a lead that is going to give Roccat any major advantage going into that Immortal fight here right now. So they need to make sure that they are still winning that battle if they want to claim Immortal number 2, and that is an important one. 5 minutes in, the Immortal is already starting to pick up some strength, but of course later on these bad boys are dishing out even more damage than before. Both of the teams have now still their shamans on the map, and especially at the bot lane, nobody's really taking care of this camp, and you can't leave them alone. The shaman is just going to spawn new Fellhounds over and over again, and that is why Soke has to rotate down, because he already knows that there's just no way for them to leave this one alone. So he defends against it, but the Immortal up here is already in a bit of trouble. Nice jump by Sport Billy, might be at lockdown, and yes he does. Lucifer is starting to rotate in, Gravity Labs already used, but TeamLiquid has to move away from them. They took some damage on their Immortal now already though, and that means they have to try and defend. There's a nice poke on the side of Roccat available to them with of course roaches and everything else, and that Immortal is down to half health. So the only chance that TeamLiquid has is win that fight, win the team fight, and then burst down the Immortal completely. And getting a kill against Chris would be a great start, and they get that kill. Do they lose a hero though? Lucifer is low, Vortex is also moving away. Sport Billy jumps out in the last second, and Vortex is still trying to get a bit more damage in, but they are extremely low as you can tell, and it's only another 4 seconds until Vala is going to be back. Those death timers are extremely short right now. Sport Billy and their move in, Black Scorp locks them down, and now with the earlier level 9 they're already moving down to the Immortal of the blue team and try to finish it off. Everybody is going to be back in full strength in a few seconds though, but that Immortal is super low already, and Chris is there. He drops the multi-shot, goes straight for the arrow now as well. Immortal is just losing more and more hit points, is currently down to 2,800, which is definitely not a lot. Black Scorp is also losing hit points. Zok on the other hand gets taken out. Can they drop the Immortal? Roccat is actually in a very nice spot where even if TeamLiquid focuses on the Immortal up at the top lane, they should have the chance to move down here with the rest of the team and just deliver a bit of poke damage to take this one out, and that's exactly what they're currently trying to do. It's already down to another 600 hit points, and TeamLiquid is just defending as much as they can. They only have Arthurs up here at the top. The rest of the team can now go in again with maybe another Avro multi-shot. Are they gonna have somebody over? Sport Billy is jumping in. Wow, he sacrificed himself for the team apparently, but still no shield glare. 33 hit points. No way. Zagara drops the roaches, and not even that is finishing it off. Yes, there it is. But a kill against Zagara follows now as well. They paid a hefty price for this one. Both of the teams at level 10 at the same time, 4 kills against 1. Roccat just sacrificed 2 heroes to get the Immortal, and they are pushing the bot lane right now, and they will drop one of these forts. So it's a bit of an annoying situation still for TeamLiquid. They are going to drop this Immortal for sure, and I don't really think that they're going to lose anything up at the top lane, but they will lose the fort down to the bot lane for sure, as already mentioned. So up here, Immortal is about to be taken out, but down to the bot lane, the fort is eliminated, and they will also be able to drop the wall up at the keep, and that is even more important than that. But TeamLiquid, they are being back right now. There's a bit of a pressure play though, and what are they going to be able to do? Not too much. I mean, they get a few damage points in, but they have to rotate back. A slight lead now for Roccat, but the more important part, of course, is that when it comes down to structures, they are definitely in the lead. They have put a lot of pressure already at the fort up at the top lane early on in the day, and that means that they have it down to roughly 30-40%. And at the bot lane, they dropped the fort, they are in a solid position there. But still, the next Immortal fight should be happening on the same amount of talents. The level 10 abilities with Judgment, with also the Phoenix, we have Army of the Dead, Frost, Ring of Frost, plus also the Divine Shield used. And for Roccat, it's a Strafe, Ancestral Healing, Blessed Shield, Avatar, and more that they're trying to run now. To the top lane, again, one of the Khaldor camps trying to push the wave in, but at the same time down here, Zagara is being hunted. Lucifron is still trying to chase her though. They are moving away, pretty coordinated at this point, and Lucifron can't really connect, but they have level 12, very close now. Should get this one. Hazop's already there, Zocke, Shadowman. There's still, of course, those Bruiser camps that you have. And I mean, the Bruiser camps in this case with the Shamans are very, very strong. We already talked about it. If you take them at the perfect time and then you just let them push while the objective is being attacked, and they can take down an entire fort or keep easily, and that is a huge threat to an opponent's team. Right, we have again the top lane being pushed. Oh, apparently we're seeing a trade here. The bot lane against the top lane, and I don't really think that this is going to work out well for TeamLiquid, because Roccat is not going to stop here. They're going to go for keep right now, and they're still trying to burst that down. They're losing precious seconds. They're starting to move back with 2 of the heroes, but they're going to lose at least 1 of the towers. They might even lose more in case that Roccat is committing to it. And now it's level 13 versus level 12. I don't really think that TeamLiquid did themselves a favor right now. The Immortal is going to be in play in just a few seconds, and as you can see here, it's a level lead that we're now having for Roccat, and that means an extra talent. With those spell shields, they are rather safe against Kel'Thas and Jaina. There's no chain bomb yet. They're bursting down the Immortal to half health, and in the meantime, TeamLiquid is desperately trying to get their own level 13 talent, which they now have, but they already lost a fair amount of hit points on the Immortal, 50% to be exact, against Icy Veins being taken. The same talent that he took in the last game, by the way. So Icy Veins once again, and now it is Immortal time once more. Who's gonna win that fight? If Roccat wins this fight and they get a full shield Immortal, that would be amazing for them. We're having also the chain bombs now in play, imposing Will and a Shrink Ray. Spot Billy had to move away fast, and in this case it's actually a bit tricky for him. He needs to well up first, and I guess he has the well ups still at the front, so he can go to the gate, and he does. But over here the Immortal is being defended. There's of course also the stun circles that TeamLiquid has to be careful about. But the Phoenix is great for zoning. Zocke a bit low. There's also bombs, but nice! That was a great blessed shield, and the more! Oh my god, that was really well done, but the Divine Shield already used. Jaina gets away for now, even Strafe now being used in the backline. Sport Billy jumps away, Arthurs gets condemned, Falcon just barely, no, Falcon drops, Jaina is down, and that's what Roccat needed. Sport Billy is healing himself up with a passive again, and now they're just simply going for the Immortal. It's a 5 versus 4 situation. TeamLiquid can't fight. They cannot fight here. They're trying to well up, but this should be the Immortal. They're going in for it, and they're gonna get it. What? 100 hit points? You gotta be kidding me! Zocke! Zocke goes in, sacrifices himself for the team, and yep, with that they have a full shield Immortal. Well, nearly full shield, but Sport Billy might die as well. Judgment used, and he's moving away now. Yeah, he's even dodging to split the damage on the towers, but this Immortal up here is gonna do quite a bit of damage. They do not have Johanna though. They don't have Johanna, but the Immortal is already on the way, and as we already said, like, this one hurts. The shield should fall fairly soon though, and TeamLiquid is focusing their entire attention up to the top lane, and Roccat can't do anything about the situation here. They cannot really capitalize on it. I mean, yep, there's already the wall that's gone. They're gonna get a tower from this, and they're trying to rush to the bot lane to get that keep as fast as possible, but TeamLiquid is bursting the Immortal down as fast as they can, and the only thing that Roccat got out of this is a tower. And a slight lead in experience, I want to say. I mean, they are close to level 15. But with Zocke dying at the time when they took the Immortal, there was very little that they could really get out of this. So a bit unfortunate. Chris is moving up to the top right now, and let's check out how exactly... Look at that experience, by the way. It was a level lead that they had a second ago, and now they are exactly at the same amount again. Level 15 for the two of them, and Lucifron already pressured here. They're starting to jump in. Now the Khaldor camp is there. Can they get a kill maybe? If Roccat can pick a kill right now, that would be the best case scenario. Lucifron is extremely low, and yeah, he's isolated from the rest of the team. He's trying to run away, but well, you can run, you can hide. This is not going to work. Shadowmar is going to get him eventually together with Hazops. But he's wasting a lot of time for the opponent. He's actually wasting a fair amount of time here. In the end, he dies. Shadowmar gets away, takes a bit of damage from the explosion, but that's it. And they are going for Blackscorp now. Blackscorp with the Army of the Dead. Uther is moving in, and just in time to save him. The question is just for how long, because it's still a 5 versus 4. And there comes the Stormbolt. Yeah, and they get that. Now they're rushing away once again. Oh, the Hydra is being lifted by Vortex, but that's a nice heal. Sport Billy. Oh my god. Sport Billy rushes away. Level 16 talents now, and Blackscorp is again low. Tidal waves now for Rhaegar. Blessed Hammer. The objective is on the map again. It's level 16 versus 15, but it's a 5 versus 5 again, and overall, TeamLiquid has more kills than Roccat does. We have both of the teams soon on 16, but for now it looks like Roccat is once again trying to go into the middle to drop a few hit points off the Immortal, while TeamLiquid tries to catch up in experience. This game is extremely close. Every time they fight for the Immortal, they are so close in EXP, and they're just trying to burst down the opponent's Immortal as fast as they can. It's a pretty even trade at this point. Roccat is slightly faster, but still, this is working out well. There is still the camp to consider. They're not taking it, they're actually just welling up at this point, and there's the defense. Defending is always easy on this map. Defending your own Immortal is always a bit easier, because the Immortal just helps you as well with those stun circles that you have. But right now, TeamLiquid has Hold Your Ground. Holy Ground, sorry. We have Arcane Barrier for them, Northern Exposure and Benediction, and you could already see the talents at level 16 earlier for Team Roccat. Chris actually taking the camp right now. And can they really buy this much time so that the camp is going to be effective? There might be a forced rotation from TeamLiquid away from the Immortal to stop the camp so that Roccat has a chance to move in here. They're already trying to use Condemn to pull somebody into the stun circles of the Immortal, but you can really see that the poke damage is starting to do a bit of work, with Falcon and Vortex just using everything that they have. And Phoenix is up again. They can use the Phoenix again. Here's already the Ring of Frost that is being used. Sokka dies just before the Ancestral Healing hits. They're going straight for Mirrodin now too, but Sport Billy jumps away. He still had Stone Form up. Stone Form was still up, and now the Immortal is being bursted down, and that is the first objective in the game that TeamLiquid gets. Up at the top lane, we're seeing now also the camp still pushing in, but as you can tell, I mean, there's enough time for TeamLiquid to rotate somebody back and deal with it. And the Immortal here is going to do quite some damage to the fort. So TeamLiquid is really starting to get a lot of momentum here on the map. 6 kills against 3 at this point. So we're having over there 2 lane, Grandpa Kette, Falcon, Vortex. They're all just rotating in with the Immortal. Arthur's is at the bot lane for additional experience, and TeamLiquid is taking the lead here. Blackscorp is on his Arthurs down to the bot lane, and that Immortal, I mean, that bad boy is starting to hit hard. He's going straight in, and this 4 has no chance of survival, even especially with the rest of the team going in. Arthur's, now that he pushed out the lane at the bot, is also moving up to the top, and the Immortal could theoretically even help them to take the first keep of the game. So far, not a single keep has been eliminated. This one was scratched, but that was about it. Down here we have also a few hit points lost, but it's basically at 100%. And yeah, look at that Immortal. Oh my god, I mean, these hits, they are already through the wall here, and this tower is going to fall as well. They just have to poke a bit more if they really want it, but apparently they don't. Apparently they are alright not taking it, but that team fight on the other hand with the initiation, Blast Shield already used, and here comes the Ring of Frost again. Luciphon is a bit caught off guard here, I think, but he moves away just in time, and Shadowmar ate some damage from the living bombs, but they are not pursuing this even further. So for now, we have both of the teams just splitting again. But this time it is TeamLiquid with that lead in experience, level 18 versus level 17. And currently, we see the camp taken at the top lane. A very close game. I mean, the entire time we see them on nearly even experience. Finally, TeamLiquid has been able to establish a slight experience lead for themselves now. And they are taking, again, the camp. Well, they tried to take the Bruiser camp, but Roccat is already moving over. They feel that they need to make something happen for level 20 hits, and I kind of agree with that. Great Maw here, isolating 2, but Hazorbs is also very well cut off, and he is getting jobbed. He was at the right side, there was already the Phoenix in, and Arthur's just hunted him down. The double kill. Is this the beginning of the end? 3 heroes dead, level 19 nearly ready, and they are starting to chase. They are trying to go for Chris. Judgment used, and goodbye Vala. I don't see him getting away out of this one. Even with the vault, he's not going to make it. Luciphon should have enough mana to use another Eldruin Smite. Actually, no way. Absolutely no way. And they just simply go for a keep right now. Really well done here. So they're starting to move in. We have a great position now for TeamLiquid. They are going to take the keep. up to the top lane, and at the same time we're still having that Khaldor camp doing a bit of damage and trying to go for a keep as well, but I suppose that somebody's going to hit that B button and we'll just move back to make sure that they are going to find out exactly what's going to happen over there. Looking at the damage, just to give you a bit of an idea of what happened so far in the game there. Siege damage, of course, on the side of Vala, pretty solid here. When it comes to hero damage, Zagara and Vala taking the crown for their team, but it's 60,000 on Kel'Thas that is really the most impressive for now. It's interesting that we have nearly level 20 for TeamLiquid, but not quite. So they don't get the level 20 talent just yet. They will be in a bit. There's still Kel'Thas to the top lane, and he's trying to deliver it to his team. But they don't have the talent just yet. They will soon, but in the meantime, the Immortal is still on the map, and that's of course something that they have to fight for now. Level 20 or no level 20, they need to make a play here. They could try and rotate Arthas down, and that's exactly what they do to deliver the last few experience points for level 20. And there it is. So they have now the Bolt of the Storms, the double hardened shield, and a massive advantage over Roccat in this scenario. Great play here once again. TeamLiquid at the perfect time, and Zokke is dead. Judgment on Hazorbs. He was judged and he was deemed to be not worthy. Down he goes, and that is the kill against Rhaegar that is most likely going to finish the game off. Level 20 versus 18, they are not even bothering with the Immortal. They were like, what? Screw that guy. They just move over to Core and say, okay, this is it, this is game, we're gonna take it right here. Vala and Muradin, we don't care too much about those two. We can just go straight in and take them down. Very well played here by TeamLiquid. The third game, once again, the decisive match between the two teams. The series was tied, but now TeamLiquid, they're taking the crown here. They lose Jaina, but what TeamLiquid is going to still accomplish is dropping that core. Or are they? Well, Vortex moves away, 37%. Yeah, Johanna isn't here yet. Maybe with a shorter death timer they could have gone for a defense, but as you can see, this is going to be game. Tyrael Explosion plus Black Scorp and Grand Paqueta are going to finish it off. Well played, and TeamLiquid advances in the loser bracket for the rematch against Team Bob. TeamLiquid, again, solid, and to be honest with you, at this point a little bit scary. I mean, how often have they fallen behind in the series already in this tournament? And every single time they bounce back. And this is a bit reminiscent of what we've actually seen in Enter the Storm too. If you recall, they lost in the winner bracket in the first round against Pushik team, and then they marched through that loser bracket, defeated everybody, and claimed the tournament victory. And this time at least they survived the first round in the winner bracket, but then they lost to Bob, which is exactly the team that they face now in the next round in the consolation match. And well, they can redeem themselves for the loss in the winner bracket, and of course also prove once again that they are the best in Europe here. If they can do that though, that's something that we're going to find out next time. For today, we're done, and guys, thanks again for tuning in today. I hope that you had some fun with the cast and also with the games here. The match was, of course, pretty incredible. I always enjoy a series that goes the full distance. I hope you do too. And if you do, you know the drill. Hit that thumbs up button on YouTube and hit it hard. And I'm going to see you guys next time with more Heroes of the Storm content here on the YouTube channel. So have a great day. Thanks for tuning in today. Bye-bye.